Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Give a round of applause for Gilbert Zachary, the one and the only.
Yes.
The miracle of miracle. Plays those keys, he tickles those keys so beautifully. Thank you, Gilbert. And now, we will bring the invocation. So if you would just sit comfortably and let's take a deep breath. Infinite Spirit, in whom we live, move, and have our being, we acknowledge the presence of God is in this meeting. The power of God, the activity of God. This meeting is God, all God. And we know that we are co-creators with God. We're the little hands behind it that do all the little details for God. God takes care of everything with Miracle Center for Spiritual Living. Each and every person that's on their way, each and every person that wants to be on their way, each and every person that's on Zoom. And we are blessed in this day. We are blessed with happiness. We're blessed with complete love. And we know that our minister today, Reverend Leora Nash, is going to give us a wonderful theme about raise your voice. And the music today is beautiful. So if you're ready to raise your voice, you can say with me, and so it is. And so I let it be. Amen, amen, and amen. Welcome all to Miracle Center for Spiritual Living. I'm so happy to see you all out there. Happy to all the folks on Zoom. And special happiness to Mr. Gilbert Zachary. This is May 18th, 2025. You believe that? No. You know, I worked on a Y2K project 25 years ago, 24 years ago, 23 years ago. We thought everything was going to crash and burn when we turned into the year 2000. But I got paid a lot of money to make sure that didn't happen, some of the places I worked at. Anyway, the order of service today is, our monthly theme is Raise Your Voice. Raise your voice. Our affirmative quote is, stop using your energy to worry. Did you hear me?
Yes.
Stop using your energy to worry. Use your energy to believe, create, love, grow, manifest, and heal. Worry is the thief of joy.
Yes, it is.
I've never heard that before. Wow. Use your energy to do what? Believe, create, love, grow, manifest, and heal. Heal. You see that? You see these words written on this page? Wow. Suggested science of mind point of view. This is a suggested point of view. I wonder what that's about. Keep your thoughts positive because your thoughts become words. Keep your words positive because your words become your behavior. Keep your behavior positive because your behavior becomes your habits. Keep your habits positive because your habits become your values. Keep your values positive because your values become your destiny. Mahatma Gandhi. Guess where this is going to be? It's going to be on my mirror.
Yeah.
Keep your thoughts positive.
Yes.
That keeps your life positive.
Yes.
Where the mind goes, energy flows.
Yes. Yes.
Where the mind goes,
Yes.
energy flows. Random statements made by Ernest Holmes, founder of religious science. Wow, I can't wait to read this. I have not read this yet today. We are chemists in a laboratory of the infinite. What then shall we create? We are chemists in the laboratory of the infinite. What then shall we create? I am the gift of joy that God gives to a wonderful world. Can you say that with me? I am the gift of joy that God gives to a wonderful world. We are born to create, and we can't help it. Why is that? Because God, the great creator, is in us. I love Science of Mind because it gives us so much power. It gives us power over our lives. Whoever thought of saying that? We are born to create and we can't help it. Why is that? Because God, the great creator, is in us. Just let that soak in for a second. God, the great creator, is in us. Knowing that God is the only presence and the only power in the universe, and knowing that God is love, I deliberately turn from everything that is unlike this love. Yes. I desire that this love and compassion and well-wishing for others shall be the whole theme of my life. Living the Science of Mind, page 192. And who knows when that was written, but it's still true today. Yes. So when you see all that stuff that's happening in the politics and all that stuff that you know who is doing out there, remember this. Yes. God is the only presence, the only power in the universe, and knowing that God is love, I deliberately turn from everything that is unlike this love. I desire that this love and compassion and well-wishing for others shall be the whole theme of my life. Just let that, when you go home, if you got the Living the Science of Mind, look that up and just let that sink in. An extended thought. A human being is part of the whole. One experiences oneself, our thoughts and feelings, as something separated from the rest, from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of one's consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our desires and affection for a few persons near us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circles of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. Albert Einstein, letter of 1950, as quoted in the New York Times. March 29, 1972. And it says, practitioner to introduce first musical selection, and the message by Reverend Leora Nash entitled, It's a New Day. Amen. Hey, isn't that beautiful? There is a message in there, and the links are right here in your program. You can go home and click on this and play it for yourself. I mean, that is a beautiful. You are my hope. And now, to talk about It's a New Day, Reverend Leora Nash from sunny Hemet, California. Got it? We have to dial it up in Zoom and make sure everything is set. So when she makes her grand entrance, it's all perfect. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden it went dark.
Oh, well, we see the light now.
We see the light. Well, thank you, Jerry, for introducing me. And as I was sitting here kind of popping to the music, the selection that played, and I thought it's all about transition. The essence that was portrayed there from the young man to the adult, it's all about growth and it's about change. And isn't that what we're about? We as human beings, and this whole time of process. I think this past month, since we went through this time period of Easter, where it is that we began to move into a different format, I realized that this is the month of May. We're coming to the end of May. It's nearing the sixth month of the year. This year is 2025, which is the first quarter of the new millennium. So there's a great deal happening collectively throughout our universe. And I like the fact of the young man transitioning to become the older young man, but that the style of music transitioned from the piano. There's very few, bless Gilbert, who's able to play so beautifully, but there's very few young people that play the piano anymore. But certainly put on the headphones, put on their CDs, listen to music. So there's this process of constant change. It inspired me into today's lesson. It's a new day. So I thought about it and I thought realistically, every day is a new day if we are to truly open our eyes and to see it, to accept when it is that we're still living in yesterday, our hopes and our dreams that we set as a child growing up, always looking ahead, what I'm going to be when I grow up. That's kind of lingers in the back of our mind. And perhaps we're not even cognizant of the fact of the process that takes us on this journey of transition. Every year we celebrate Easter, the termination of life of the man Jesus. And yet there's a history there. There's a story being told there. And I love the fact of what Ernest Holmes did with the transition from conditional religious teaching into a new modern way of looking at the responsibilities of being whole, perfect, and complete, healing that issue of self-separation, that God is not outside of us, that God is within us. And the position of the young, I'll go back to the video, the position of the young man being in the culture and the warmth of his home and stepping out into the beauty of nature, into the beauty of life itself. And is that not what we do as we grow? We leave the hearth and move out into the greater expansion of the world to contribute as well as to live. Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind textbook on page 514, if you want to check me, there's a writing, a meditation that he wrote, Be Still and Know. And it goes like this. Be still and know that I am God. I am still in thy presence. In other words, God hasn't gone anywhere. We're the ones, we are the action that moves. I am quiet and peaceful, for I put my trust in thee. A great stillness steals over me, and a great calm quiets my whole being as I realize thy presence. The heart knows of thee, O Most High within. It is still in thy presence, and it puts whole confidence in thee alone. In thy presence, I am still. So that quiet, still voice, the living presence of the living God, is right where you and I are, regardless of our age, regardless of the processes of transition. God is always ever present. So the truth of this acclaim is acceptable to us as we believe. And thank goodness, I believe truly that those of us that sit in the sanctuary, those of us that sit in the gallery of the where I am in the Zoom chapter, but that we sit within this place of knowing that there is something greater than who we are as living individuals. There is that living presence of life itself, known by many names. As they say, God is known by many names. So it's whatever it is that we believe, what we hold true as our directive, as our leader, that which brings us forth into the realization that we are alive, that we are this living presence. There was a time when June and I actually walked a certain path in a beautiful area called Asilomar, and we came upon each other. We had gone different directions, but we came together in concert of a decision, and that was to walk the path of ministry. Our mother had succumbed to dementia, Alzheimer's, and certainly that was not a quest that neither of us wanted. But yet it was our mother's destiny. And perhaps some of you may resonate with that. Not only that you have experienced that level of deterioration in a parent or a child, a neighbor, a loved one, but you have certainly experienced other situations in your life, because that's what life is. It's a process of experiences that we have to grow through, that we mold ourselves by leaning into whatever that God belief is that we call by many names. But she and I, when we ordained in 2007, we came upon a like writing of Ernest Holmes that spoke volumes to both of us. And I'm going to read it. It's rather short, and I'll give you the page again. It's in the Signs of Mind textbook, but it's called I Keep the Promise. I shall keep the promise that I have made to myself. I shall never again tell myself that I am poor, weak, sick, nor unhappy. I shall not lie to myself any more, but shall daily speak the truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is let me read it again, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I shall whisper these things into my soul, into my very essence, until it breaks forth into songs of joy, with the realization of its limitless possibilities. I shall assure my soul. And that's from the Science of Mind, page 517, which is listed within the meditations that Ernest Holmes wrote. I have to go back to that every once in a while to just renew the awareness that God is right where I am. Because I, and perhaps you, I don't think I'm much different, but I can get lofty and I can go off thinking that I know so much, that I can do so much on my own, only to come back to the realization that I have to stop and pray, that I have to surrender, that I have to let loose, that I have to stop and move into that place and that space, knowing that God is ever present within me. So truly, as Jerry read earlier within the opening remarks that he so beautifully shared, and I'm just going to restate, we are chemists in the laboratory of the infinite. And infinite is endless. It doesn't end. Life living ends. We come into this life and we leave this life. So we are conditional. We are that which is individualized conditions. And the more that we begin to accept the conditions by which we live and express our being, the more healthy we can begin to look at who it is that we each are. So again, I'll go back. We are chemists in the laboratory of the infinite. What then shall we create? And maybe there's a deeper longing within ourselves, that God that speaks. What are you here? What is your purpose? Why are you here? And as Jerry always says, there's no answers to why. So we can just simply accept, I am here. I am here in life. And I can ask myself, what is it for me to do? How can I leave my mark? How can I move from this piano into the beauty of the external world and be happy to make that contribution? And as an adult, I know that I have learned enough about the inner strength to be able to contribute who I am to make my mark in the world. So the I specifically, I am, speaks to us individually. And especially this morning, perhaps, if you're hearing me deeply and deeply well, that we're hearing and maybe questioning, beginning to realize that we are total individualized chemists in this laboratory of the infinite. So what the why that we are individually here matters, that there is a purpose, there is a direction. And the beauty of it all is when we wake up, when we move out of our sorrows, when we move off of the cross that we have implemented ourselves, and we let go and we become free, then we know we do not walk alone. It does not mean that everything is glorious and wonderful and beautiful, because that's how life unfolds. But with God, all things are possible, and we have to know that. So it's a new day. It's a new day. I've turned to the science of living the science of mind, to the chapter How to Build Your Tomorrow Today. And it begins on page 190. If you have the book and you want to read that chapter, at least I felt highly inspired at this point in life, in looking at the various occasions that are facing all of us, certainly with Reverend June's impending surgery upcoming the first part of June, perhaps deadlines that you have to meet that, well, tax season is over, but certainly there are other items that are a part of your life that you have to face, make a decision about, even if it's simply to just get up in the morning and have energy to move and to be and to exist. Why am I here? What is it for me to do? To feel energized, to connect with that inner source. And as what Jesus says, know that God, or the divine spirit, which wishes only good for everyone, what we are doing today sets the law, that unconditional essence that none of us can touch, taste, feel, but we know because we are alive in motion for each of us. What we are doing today sets the law in motion. The motion is ever constant. If it is that you have the ability to sit perhaps in your window or sit on your veranda, God, that's a word that I haven't used in a long time. It was, we lived on Porchville on Veranda Beach. And that was an old saying that we used to say as kids. But because in Buffalo, you really didn't have a whole lot of space to go and sit on. Maybe you had a porch, and that was really happy time, but which we did. But to go out and to walk the streets, as the young man did in the video, to begin to appreciate the beauty. And certainly Cleveland is a wonderful place to walk the streets, to go down to the lake front, to walk along the lakefront, to go to the downtown area, even to Cleveland Clinic area, which is so beautifully arranged. There's this openness of sky, this beauty of building, and yet within those walls, there's healing. There's chemistry going on to figure out the way that heals the physical body. So it's there. Enjoy your veranda beach. So what we did yesterday is carried over into today, only because we give our consent to it. Thought, what am I agreeing to? What am I agreeing to? We can agree to being haughty. We can agree to being resourceful. We can agree to be angry. We can agree to be happy. We can agree to just be quiet. We agree to whatever mood that we create within our own being. It's an inside job, as I like to say. So today is the only day in which we live. We live moment by moment. And certainly the walk that Jesus took certainly exemplifies his walk, but his walk is an example of each of us walking our individual lives. So coming to the realization how great it is that I am who I am, that I have the ability to create and recreate at any given moment the exactness of who I choose to be without excuse, without blame, so I can set the course of action that directs my life. As the song says, we've sung many a time at Miracle, uh, direct my steps, or was it something like that? It's just going on in my head. But we have to live each day as though all the joy there is in the universe is ours now. So who gets to self-correct the mood that we are living in, the mood that is attempting to overtake us? We do. It's not outside of us. It's our agreement. So when you're feeling lofty and when you're feeling down or you're feeling grumpy or whatever, step out onto your veranda beach and begin to say, I am that living power of God. What do I choose to be? How do I choose to be? How do I want others to treat what they see? Because they only see what I portray, what I give. So we begin to live each day as though all the joy that is ever present, because it lives right here within us, it comes from God. It is that natural process of God within ourselves that we alone have that greater expectation that it lives within each one of us. Therefore, guess who gets to enact what is believed within oneself? When do we begin? We begin, and I'm going to spell it in case you don't understand it, but we begin it now. N-O-W. Now is the only moment there is. Now is the only moment that there is. And I can't help but feel with great celebration the new day that happened when last Sunday that those gentlemen showed up there at Miracle and Jerry and others accepted, or they accepted, the final check that was so beautifully crafted that says this building, this Miracle Center of Spiritual Living is now ours. It belongs to the people of Cleveland. It belongs to the people of Miracle Center. And what a huge joy that is. Because you see, it was a new day portrayed back on Buckeye Avenue. When the visioning began at Buckeye some years ago, before June and I even came, there was a wonderful team of individuals, practitioners that we stepped into and met and enjoyed in heart and spirit with, that had the vision that one day a new day would come and we would be in our facility, which would be new unto us. That's a powerful, prideful feeling of accomplishment. And I certainly, throughout this past week, have just appreciated the joy, the memory of being there, walking through that threshold when I came to visit. Because Miracle Center for Spiritual Living is now standing erect, beautifully contained, maintained. And it's because there is a new day that each of us believed in that. We made it happen. So a new day is yet again upon us. Here we are at Miracle Center, sacred place, is steeped in consciousness of grace, goodness, loving kindness, peace, joy, harmony, and so many other attributes that are God-given, that are rightfully given, and they belong to the congregation. They belong to the community, community that will be expanding and is expanding into its greater growth. Looking at 2025, the first quarter of the new millennium, where will we be? It will be a new day in 2050, 25 years later. Miracle Center for Spiritual Living is going to survive. It is going to be because we, the people, encourage and keep its growth alive. So let us affirm together, it's a new day.
It's a new day.
Yes. Yesterday is past, and tomorrow has yet to arrive. The only time present is today. So the energy that we glean from this stepping out onto the veranda beach in Porchville, otherwise known as Miracle Center for Spiritual Living in Cleveland Heights, Ohio, that it's excuse me, it's a collective day that can celebrate. It's a new day, for we look forward to where it is that we are going, how it is that we are going to get there. And some of us in another 25 years, and I'm going to speak with that, of a beautiful person that emerged from Miracle, who achieved practitioner status, is now celebrating this Thursday 100 years of life, which is remarkable, totally remarkable. But we have to realize that within this celebration of her life, her birthday, Hester Talafaro, 100 years, that there's something beautiful about celebrating the good. And today I felt so inspired to look back over my life and to look back over this past month from the time of Easter, realizing that the process of resurrection is happening within me. The decision, who am I? I know where I've been. I know the accomplishments. I also know my sorrows. But today I resonate. I step out onto Porchville and I think, what a beautiful day. It's a new day. So I can let go of yesterday. And that includes the joys, the sorrows, because it doesn't exist anymore. What exists is right here, right now. So I make that affirmation to myself. It's a new day. And the empowerment of being a new day is for me to decide what I need to do with me, with my life, with my directive, with my encouragement. And I say it is the I of we. I invite each of us to begin to concentrate, and it is a concentration of who am I? Who am I? And once we assert that and we get clear with that, it's the collective whole of all that we have been through, whether it's just simply living life, the education, the jobs, the relationships, the abilities to, as Gilbert does, play so beautifully, with those of us that can sing, those of us have the ability to speak our word, to express our emotions. That's all part of the livingness of being here right now. And this is who it is that we recognize and accept of who it is that we are, and as well as how we surrender to the professionals that are tending to our physical being, that will keep us here in life, to sustain us on purpose. For when it is that we know why it is that we are here, why it is that we are going to the physician, why it is that we are stepping out onto Veranda Beach, it is to create to give of ourselves, not selfishly, but to share with our life, that life that lives and breathes us, that imagination, that creativity, that flow of thought that says, kid, you can do this. I am here with you. You are not alone. God and I are one. I am known by many names. What needs to be understood, what needs to be accepted, is that there is only one of us. I live through you. I am that inner voice within you. I give you purpose. It is for you to wake up, to receive that message, and know that God is not through with me yet. Say that. God is not through with me yet. We've only just begun. I think there's a song along those lines. I've only just begun. So look around and see the wonders of the many faces of God, the many faces of God. Whether you be in a church or whether you be in a store. And certainly my daughter comes once a month and we love to go to the big family store, Walmart, because we see so many wonderful human faces dressed in, well, I won't go there, but we see the faces of God. And, that's something that I just want to say that's a joy. That is a joy because as we see, they see us and they see our smiling faces. And even the I shouldn't call them hobos, the individuals, the children of God, and we are all a child of God. And I know some people will say, I am an adult of God. Yes, in terms of years, but from the spirit, we are children of God. We come from God. We come through the process of life. Life is God. Life is God. So we give thanks for our individuality, for our livingness of God, and we see the many faces of God, even those individuals who are standing on the corner with their sign, I need food, help me. Whatever that is, however that is, there's no judgment. They choose to be there. They can choose not to be there when it is that they turn to within and hear the face of God speaking to them, that this is not their destiny. So it is true for each one of us. It is true for each one of us. And there's a song that I'm going to ask Chris and Jerry to play, and it's called You Are the Face of God. And I have switched it from You Are the Face of God because it's projective. It's looking out to realize that I am the face of God. And I invite each of you, as you listen to the song, you listen to the vocal, the words of the song, and interpret within your thinking, I am the face of God. It is then that we can begin to understand that this is a new day, that this is the day that the Lord lives within me. This is the day I step out onto my veranda beach. This is the day that I choose to reformat, to come alive differently. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is yet to be. And how I be creates that new day that I choose to live, to exist, to share, to be the who that I am. So Jerry and Chris, do you want to swing us into our new song, sung by Karen Drucker? You Are the Face of God. When you go home, look in the mirror. I am the face of God. Say that enough times to whereby you feel it. You know who you are. It's a new day. So believe within yourself, believe in Miracle Center, believe in healing, believe in recovery, believe in 100 years of living this life, believe that God is not through with me yet. For it is in this joy of simply knowing, affirming the very existence of our being, that the presence of God is right where we are. And when that moment comes, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit, the living spirit of each and every one of us will ascend without fanfare, without any type of invitation other than it is time to come home. And until that happens, it is time to live, Live. And it takes a village. It takes a village. So within that village, or whether it is family, immediate family, extended family, within that village, the medical professionals, the teachers, the academics, the people walking through Walmart shopping, the people standing on street corners begging, our furry animals, our babies, our furry babies. Whatever that is, it's the sunshine that falls upon our face. It's the rain that falls upon our shoulders. It's the wind that blows against our face. It is the ground upon which we walk. The living presence of the living God is right where we are. So let's accept that today is a new day. It's a new day that we are moving forward, onward and upward, that we continue to utilize the best self of me, of we, the I that is we, to the greatest degree, that assists not only our individualized selves, but the collective whole. For there is no separation, only differentiations within the element of what God is. So knowing that this is the absolute truth, it is a new day, that we celebrate and give thanks for this awareness, this awakening, that it is a miracle unfolding. It is a miracle in action. And as we live, move, and have our being, we give thanks that God is as I am, here and now. And as we close this time together, this formal time of celebration here at Miracle Center, giving thanks for the element of Zoom, giving thanks for the intelligence of those able to operate and facilitate the Zoom, those of us that are sitting in the sanctuary, those of us that are sitting in this wonderful invention of Zoom theater, for those of us that are walking the streets that are totally unaware that they are a living presence of God. It's a new day. We see through new eyes, and we give thanks, and we lift those, all of us, I shouldn't say those, we lift all of us in the element of healing thought, of healing within our physical being, knowing that the living presence of God provides for us that breath that is so acceptable that we breathe each moment of each and every day. So we let go and let God be us, in us, as us, direct, push, pull, whatever that is, whatever it takes, to just simply be here now. And if you're in agreement, just affirm with me. And so it is. And so it is. Thank God it is so. Amen. So I turn it, this beautiful portion of our wonderful service this morning back to Jerry. And at the time when we come together, I invite each of you, especially those that I have yet to hear from, to share with us our joy of Hester. And I have a notebook that I'm holding up in front of us with wonderful pictures that our dear Susie has put together. And I have comments, loving comments from those of you that have taken time to send me an email of the birthday wishes to our beautiful Hester. 100 years old come Thursday is worthy to celebrate. So make yourselves known. There's life living through her, through each one of us. And I thank you. Blessings, Jerry. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. That has just been a marvelous, marvelous Sunday. I can say we have had a wonderful time here. This music has been beautiful. The message has been outstanding. I mean, I have all of this stuff on this little program written down. I'm going to put it on my mirror. It's so good to be talking about love instead of all the other things that are going on out there. It's just wonderful. It is just wonderful. And everybody knows me. I'm Henry Jerry Lawson. I'm a practitioner here at Miracle Center for Spiritual Living, in case you don't know me. I get misquoted very often about the why questions because I say I don't answer why questions because they're my questions. So if you ask me why, I say I don't know. Why? And they've turned it around and says, don't answer why questions. Every time I hear that, it's sort of funny to me. Thank you for your continued financial support. We are grateful for the divine wisdom ever present and available. We thank you for using PayPal or credit card on our website. Click and donate. And mailing in your love offerings or just, donating in a plate weekly. We have paid off our church, but yes, we still need to pay all of our utilities and all the other stuff that's going on. And after listening to those wonderful, beautiful, beautiful songs this morning, I have an announcement to make. We had our Board of Trustees meeting the other day. And we approved going forward with bringing our choir back. Yay! So we're going to be assembling our names, assembling the names of everybody that wants to be on the choir. We haven't had the list, we haven't had a chance to put the paperwork together yet. And we're going to be checking around to get us our choir director. So that's what's coming in the future right now. And we're working on doing some classes, some low-cost classes to talk about Science of Mind for all of the new members that are coming in. And we have a new member that we just approved the other day. And she's sitting out right there. Will you stand and give your name?
Angela Presley.
Angela Presley is our newest member. Just wanted to recognize her. Approved by the Board of Trustees. And let's see what else we got here. Oh, there are a few cookbooks left. You see Juliet waving the cookbook. It's only a few. They're only $15. We only got, 10 or 20 of them left. So, come on. Hi, sweetie. Juliet.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yes, we do have a few cookbooks left. We only have maybe 46, maybe 45. And these are beautiful cookbooks because your names are in them. Many of you gave wonderful recipes. Elaine has one that I think we shared maybe one Sunday or a couple Sundays ago. And Susie, as usual, have wonderful, wonderful desserts. And just think, maybe somebody's going to have a barbecue. There's a barbecue sauce in this cookbook. It's not mine, but somebody's in there. And just remember that it's supporting the church. All the cookbooks that has been sold, we moved it to our property and management account, and that is $2,351. Wonderful, wonderful. So thank you. The cookbooks are $15, and I know those 45, 46 cookbooks will be sold immediately.
If not sooner.
Or sooner. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for your participation.
Let's give Juliet a round of applause.
Can they be mailed out?
Of course. She's mailing them to California. She's mailing them to Georgia. So all these folks on Zoom have gotten them. And she started out with 200 and some cookbooks, and we had some free ones. So now this is all profits coming in right now. So that's why we're trying to get the last few of them off the shelves back there. But that's okay. Juliet, you've done a wonderful, wonderful job. Wonderful. All right, I'm through with these announcements. Choir, let's see. Okay, classes, cookbooks. Time for the benediction, you all. So if you would, just put your feet flat on the floor. Those of you at home, get comfortable. Mother, Father God, in whom we live, move, and have our being, we give thanks for this time that we've had together. We give thanks for this beautiful music. We give thanks for the ability to have a minister from Hemet, California, give us our lesson today. We give thanks for all the people that have worked before, all the people that are working right now, and all the people that will be working afterwards across the hall as we have our snacks. We know that Miracle Center for Spiritual Living is blessed. We know that our building is blessed and paid for. We knew that all that are here are blessed, and all that are on Zoom are blessed. Our music, our piano, I'm blessed. Our Zoom technician is blessed. Christopher. And I just release this into the ethers, knowing that all is well. And if you're in agreement with me, you can say with me, and so it is. And now we'll make a circle here in the middle and sing a peace song. Let's make it peace and love.